Got it. Okay. I think we're updated.
So a funny thing happened while Colleen was doing her emails, a podcast. It's the Great Northern Sexcast, everybody. Hi.
Hi there. Good morning.
Hey.
Hello, Michael Radke and Colleen Bertino back.
Yeah, we're here.
You're here. Kelly Guest along with everybody, too. Hey, we're happy to tell you that Audible wants us to be here. Audible is sponsoring the podcast, and you can get your free downloaded Audible book by going to audibletrial.com/social. And you can get a free audiobook. It's awesome.
You know, when I was out for my surgery, I could not even watch TV. Audible was my best friend.
Oh, yeah, because you had eye surgery.
Yeah, I had eye surgery. My eyes are straight now, and Audible the whole week was my best friend.
That is so cool. And just in case you're just joining the Great Northern Sexcast for the very first time, Michael, you had a life-changing procedure, and you've got a little ways to go, but oh my gosh.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
tell everybody what happened quick.
Just a brief summary. When I was born, I was technically a forceps baby, so some forceps hit me in the eye, took out some of my muscles in the eye. So when I was a year old, I had a surgery done, and they kind of botched that. So I've been going almost 46 years with an eye that has no muscle control, so it would just go anywhere. So I never knew what I was looking at, and people I was talking to never knew what I was looking at. Mm-hmm. So I finally found a surgeon that would be willing to try, and he's like, I can do that. And of course, it was at the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
So it was actually a quick process. So I went the week of St. Patty's Day to see this guy, and within a month later, he was doing the surgery. And now I'm in recovery, and my eyes are straight for the first time. When he told me I could take the bandage off the next morning, I sat in front of that mirror for a half an hour.
Oh, I bet.
Just contemplating and trying to get the nerve up to take that bandage off. But when I did, I tell you, it was like Christmas morning and my birthday all the same day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was like I started crying. I called my mom. She started crying. 46 years of the same problem, and it's incredible, the change.
Yeah. And you know, this kind of, we talk about stuff like this, I mean, in principle, quite a bit here on the Great Northern Sexcast, because we're all about, like, acceptance and getting okay with who you are and everything else. And this wasn't something that you did. You did it for you. I mean, it wasn't because you cared what anybody else thought about you.
No, that had some to it, because only kids really noticed it, and they'd be staring at me, so then parents would tap on them, don't stare. So that make me feel like, I was belong in a circus.
Yeah.
So it did it for me because I didn't like looking at myself and seeing myself like that. But now,
well, you can see better too.
I can.
Really. There's a practical concept here. We're not just talking vanity.
It is not, and that's what I was going to say. Because when I was going into the surgery, I'm like telling them, I'm like, God, I hope my vanity is not what kills me. Because you hear people don't come out of anesthesia and stuff, and they're like, it's not a vanity thing with you, Michael. It's not. It's it is because I need two eyes that align. Because now I can actually see more straight. Before I could see out of my right eye, but then my left eye would wander up, so I can see the sky too. So I can actually, my brain is so trained, so I can look out one eye and out the other. So depending.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is really interesting. And now I'm still doing it, and now I can actually grab a door handle with my left hand and use my left eye, and it actually corresponds, and I actually come into contact.
Like the CIA might need you. Like you might be really useful.
Because
I don't know.
It's really weird because I can still see in the dark in that eye. Because remember before in the podcast,
yeah.
I could see in the dark. I could still see in the dark. It's just now I just close my right eye.
He's going to become some sort of like operative or some sort, and we'll lose him at the Great Northern Sexcast. Oh my God, that's so funny. All right, well, wait. In other medical news, what the fuck? You were back in the ER after like this, Colleen.
Well, if any folks have been listening over the past year and a half, they know that me and my lungs don't get along very well. So I just had a very vicious case of bronchitis, and decided I was having a difficult time breathing. And I decided that I'd like breathing.
Breathing is good, not underrated.
And so occasionally, if we do start giggling here, I might go into a coughing fit still, because if folks who've had bronchitis know that can trigger for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, just a little trip over to the ER. They sort of, I'd been on plane. So they wanted to make sure that there wasn't a clot in the lung and stuff like that too, because I did have some, other stuff going on. But no, just the nebulizer is my friend. Generally when you're 50, you don't need the nebulizer. It's more of a kid thing. But I do joke that I can't keep my shoes tied. My nose is always running, and now I have a nebulizer. So really, I am a 50-year-old toddler.
Well, there's that.
I just giggle over stuff like that.
God.
And occasionally my brain goes down to it might raise up to some sort of teenage bizarre.
Right.
Okay. Because I still giggle. Okay, so this is great. So I go for a walk.
I was just going to say the Facebook post I read this morning.
I go for a walk. And I've got on leggings and a t-shirt. And so I want to bring my phone with me. So like a lot of women do, I put my phone in my bra. And I have no idea, because generally I've got it on you have to a fingerprint thing and this and that. Somehow I must not have turned it up. All I know is that when I got home, I took the sweaty phone because, out of the thing. I looked at it, and somehow my left boob clicked and got all the way to Bust magazine. I am not
That
kidding.
is fantastic.
I am
fitting.
I am not making this shit. I'm serious. I'm just like, really? No, somehow it must have gone. There must have been some sort of sponsored thing, maybe on Facebook or someplace else. All I know is that this is not a butt dial. This was a boob click,
And the boob went to what it was interested in.
Yeah, the boob went to Bust magazine. I laughed that was so funny.
That reminded me of something that I stumbled on actually last night that didn't make the outline, so it fits very well right here. Have you guys heard of the new label, and it's not a pleasant one or a happy label, called Brexting?
No.
Okay, it's the phenomenon of breastfeeding mothers being on their smartphones while they're breastfeeding, and it's being frowned upon because it interferes with the bonding process. So now breastfeeding mothers are being shamed into not brexting because it takes away part of the whole reason you're doing it. Thoughts?
Those people can go fuck off.
Michael?
I'm kind of in agreement, I really have no opinion on that because I never have to deal with it.
No, I mean, I'm really, you can be, I have not breastfed. I know many people that have. I know people that haven't. Whatever works for you, fine. But if you're sitting there for hours a day and that kid is latched on, the kid's just fine. It's eating.
Yeah. I kind of agree. You need something to do while you're just sitting there.
I've seen folks read a book. I've seen folks have a conversation. There ain't, while there's going through there, I've actually seen mothers knit and breastfeed. So, fuck you.
I'd rather see them.
There's so many people.
I'm sorry. Just stop with the fucking shit.
There are people that just seem to have a it's part of their daily life, and their mission is to find things that other people do and to have to judge them and opine about them.
And honestly, I would say that the majority of it is policing women's behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're saying, is dad there holding the baby's hand while the kid's breastfeeding and bonding?
Right. There's no bonding with the
Ooh,
father.
good point.
Okay.
Right.
What
Why
you
is it all on
said.
the mom?
It's going, oh.
I agree with that statement.
We got to come up with what that is. That's not. We got to name that noise. We got to think
noise.
about that. Name that noise. If anybody thinks of something to go, what do you call that? And send it to us on Facebook. Pretty please, I'm writing it down to remind.
Okay, well, let me. But okay, let's say your kid's at the playground and your eyes never come off your phone, and they go taking a nosedive off the top of the.
Okay,
bars.
that's an issue.
But really, if the kids, I mean, I'm not saying there aren't times when you need to take your face out of your phone, but really, if
like driving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you're sitting there and your kid's eating and you want to knit, you want to look on your phone, you want to read.
What about watching TV?
You want to watch TV. You want to play a little Xbox. Fine.
Candy Crush.
Mm-hmm.
Farm Heroes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Exactly. That's a great one, too.
Oh, my God. That's my favorite. I'm addicted. I am so embarrassed to be a 49-year-old woman, and the number of hours. I fill out the surveys because, they want to, every once in a while, they ask you on how to improve the game. And, of course, I have many opinions about that.
Right.
And then every time I put in my age, I'm like, oh, my God, they're probably going, great.
Right.
And I'm a woman. It's not just a dude, which kind of cracks me up. Okay, so, guys, before we dive into the discussion topics and the Great Northern Sexcast news, it's Mother's Day coming up.
Yeah, I know.
And I sent you guys an assignment over the weekend, and it looks like somebody did it. So
Megan did some notes for us.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Well, I started thinking about, why not a Mother's Day gift that's truly, me-centric for mom. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of different categories of moms that might have different needs. That's where I was coming from. So I thought we could attack what to buy for moms in different situations.
Right.
All right?
Now, as much as I would like to promote lingerie sales, I'm going to say this right now. You do not buy lingerie for Mother's Day. Now, if the mom wants to buy some lingerie and wear it for Father's Day, or if you're a same-sex female couple and you want to buy something to wear for your spouse or something like that, that's fine. But this is not.
Don't buy it for somebody else.
Yeah, it's going through
point.
there.
Okay.
But because there are a lot of other things. What you want is something that pampers her.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going through there. So there's a lot of really fun things. I mean, we've got a lot of women are dealing with, if you're you might need issues with lubrication.
Perimenopausal mom or menopausal mom.
Yeah. Or even if you're on medication, or if you're still not back after, birth or something like that, and things are still a little, you're getting back into it's your first Mother's Day. It's only a few months after birth. You're going to want, probably some lube.
Yeah,
Okay.
And lingerie probably wouldn't be as fitting for them because they're still trying to get to their ideal weight. So that'll just kind of make them feel bad because they maybe can't fit into the lingerie that they're getting because they just had a baby.
Well, let's hit the topics kind of through, and we can cross pollinate because some things are going to be good for different categories. But I would think the vast majority of everything pretty much in fantasy gifts would be good for anybody who's trying to be a mom. So anybody who's trying to get pregnant and they're
Except
just
for the condoms.
Omit
the condoms.
No condoms. Right.
No, we're not pro condom this time because you want to have a baby.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what for anybody who's trying to be a mom, what would y'all say?
Well, you're talking about things to get in the mood, because a lot of times if you're not getting pregnant, it becomes stressful for both parties.
Yeah.
So you're going to talk about maybe some light erotica. Maybe there's some role-playing stuff that you can do. Some of the books we have that have some of the sexy stories that you can read, together, so that you sort of, approach things together.
Okay.
Just going through there. That's you've got. Like I said, was it the liquid? Maybe some of the arousal items. What is that? The on?
Like the on.
and
I think we got the
liquid
pure, the on for ladies is the best.
What is that?
It's this, it's clit stimulator gel, and we actually get testers at our stores that you put a little bit on your tongue, and it actually. It's really hard to describe. It makes me salivate. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm really, salivating at the time. But it's supposed to make it tingle and everything. So you put it on your clitoris. It makes you moist. So if you're not normally, dry and where you need a lot of lube, that'll help moisten you up as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
okay,
so
like
it does.
that
If it makes me salivate, I know what it's going to do down there.
Okay, perfect.
But that's a good one. The on is a really popular item for us. Otherwise, liquid virgin and everything. We have a few stimulating stuff for the mom.
And if you're working on, orgasms, because when you orgasm and you are and the sperm's in there, it's going to pull the sperm farther into the uterus. So if you're talking about stimulation and vibrators or an outside vibrator, that if you can really, intensify an orgasm, you will pull the sperm farther into you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good to know. So in other, like the next two, new mom and frazzled mom, a lot of these just, go back and forth. But like when, maybe you're not feeling as sexual as you could.
Then it's time for mom to just pamper herself. Everybody just leaves. We get her some bath bombs, massage oil or something. Let daddy just pamper mom. She's frazzled. Serious.
No.
You want mom to just take some time.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, really. A lot of the we have some very nice massage oils. There is, it's something, once you have a massage, it does not have to end in sex. But if someone is frazzled, someone's new, maybe you're real close, you're just not ready for sex yet. I mean, really, I know, I know some people have very sensitive feet, but most people love a foot rub, a back rub, just some time where the tension that you may have gotten, probably fall asleep if you've been out feeding all the stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like I said, we have, if you've got the line called Body Wands. And it's folks are used to, like, if you're familiar with the Hitachi Magawan or stuff like that. This is another brand. It's lovely. They're rechargeable.
It's a big body wand. It's great. I own one. And it's not nothing. You don't even have to have it sexual. If you got a knot in your neck or something, this thing takes it right out.
Okay.
I love it. I really do love the body wands. But that'll help for a frazzled mom, too.
Okay.
It just helps them relax.
Yeah, and I love the oils for a foot rub. That is really cool.
Who's going to turn away a good foot rub, right?
Well, what's funny is like Carl is not necessarily one for that. It's like I really kind of want to give him a petty because I just want to get his toes looking a little bit better, because guys just don't care a lot but he has this really freaky dry skin. And I had bought some stuff the other night. I said, you just back off. I'm putting some lotion on these dogs. And one of them was like twice as dry as the other one, and so I started putting it on. I'm like, my God, this is like a plaster wall that hasn't been painted in 40 years.
Oh,
my God. And and it was this really good stuff. He loved it.
That's the thing is that foot care, you stand on them. Your feet and your toes are important. you have to pay attention to your nails, male or female. You need to pay attention to the calluses. It affects how you stand.
Yep.
It goes all the way up to your ankles, knees, hips, your back.
Oh, yeah.
Your feet are important. A pedicure, I mean, even if you do it yourself, I mean, taking care of your feet is not... it shouldn't have like a gender assigned to it.
No.
Right.
I love
your feet need to be
pedis.
taken. Yeah, your feet need to be taken care of.
Well, and I love, I mean, even male manicures. It's like when you don't even, have to use polish, just get them buffed out really nice, have your
Nice and
cuticles
shiny.
done, and, get your, exfoliate and all that kind of stuff. Do you ever do that too?
Oh, yes.
Isn't
I
that
tell you,
great?
I actually went and got my own little tool to do my own buffing and everything. Yeah, I love it.
I do mine mostly at home. I mean, I don't let anybody else touch my nails, but my toes, I go in like periodically, but I pretty much do the maintenance. And it's an awesome thing. But
I have my own girl that comes to my house before I go on vacation. Me and Eric both has petty manis. I have my own girl that comes in, does the wax on the feet and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love the wax on
Oh,
the
I
feet.
love that
I
too.
lost our, what's that stuff called? Paraffin?
Paraffin, yes.
We had one, but I lost it in the divorce.
Oh, no.
I know, I need to get another one.
That is something that goes in a divorce creed?
Well, in this case, it certainly did. And there was a cookbook that was much contested as well.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but the money shit, that was easy. It was like, no, I want the paraffin wax. I'll trade you the cookbook. And we get along really great now. Okay, so perimenopausal and menopausal, we kind of hit. The lube stuff is I think, uber key there. What do you guys think?
It really is. And the thing is that also, because your brain, especially in perimenopause and stuff like that, I mean, a lot of times your hormones can change and you might not have a sex drive.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to work together on that because sometimes you just need, some folks may not be there. Some folks may need to be jump started. Your brain might be there, but maybe the body isn't. And then that's why, and you can test out a couple of whether you like the silicone or the water-based lubes, but it's just really really important to just not to slow it down and work towards what's going through there, because I am fascinated by what's going on in my friend groups with people just like their hormone levels are all over, and so they're just like, I have absolutely no sex drive. Or their brain knows, this is something that I used to always want. And now I'm like, what the hell happened?
Gone. Yeah.
And, and they're talking, and, you can talk to your, doctors about this and stuff. But if your brain is sort of there and it's something you want to do, you can get there. But you might need, help from, lubrication. And it's a, good partner thing to, to work together.
Yeah.
It's going through there.
Yeah, and then with the menopausal stuff, because you can get the hot flashes and everything. So we suggest we do carry cooling lubes as well.
Really?
Yeah. So we
Ooh.
also do have a silky sheets, which is in cooling as well. And then you can, for the chafing and stuff, you just go ahead and apply that. You can just spray that right on your thighs or wherever chafing is, and it's awesome. You can spray it on your sheets.
Yeah, it's really nice too, so that you're not, when everything's just sometimes you'll be sweating, the sheets are a little damp or this or that, or it's going through there, or if your skin's feeling dry because of any medications you're on, it just really helps to sort of just soften up the sheets. So you're just not feeling like
It's silky sheets is amazing stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've caught us talking about this one before.
And we have a bunch of different flavors. I have my favorite flavor that I go and check, but we have like 3 different flavors.
It's more scented.
Or scented, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Flavor scented, yeah.
Yeah, it's going through.
What do you like?
There's this, I can't remember. It's got the dark blue lettering, but I can't remember the name of it.
It'll pop into your brain.
It will. And once I get to Megan, I'll have her post my favorite on the site.
Okay,
what
I
my
have
favorite
to check
one
that
is.
stuff out. Okay, so guys, I'll think about this, and I kind of made a joke on our outline here. I said hot grandma, but it's like, what would be fun for women that are older and maybe they're even widows?
Well, they have, if they're shopping for themselves, they're gonna, they can ask questions. They're gonna know what they like. They know what's going through there. But one of the things I was thinking about when I saw this is some of our position toys, because if you're dealing with arthritis or a bad knee or shoulder or something, you may want something that's a little bit firmer versus just trying to prop yourself up with pillows. Even if you're working, with yourself, even with masturbation, for angles. If you can't reach as much. So we do carry, especially at the Burnsville and Coon Rapids stores, we have a selection of like triangle pillows and roll pillows, things that are just a little bit firmer so that you can help prop yourself up and get in the right position so that you're not putting stress on your hips or your knees.
We're getting kind of
like
old.
that.
We can't get into those positions anymore like we used to in the 20s. I'm telling you, now we need props.
No, but it's just, it's better for angles.
Equipment.
And actually, and if you're, for the planning on getting pregnant too, if you're, depending on what's going through, there's some of the angles are good. So, it keeps the legs up or keeps the hips, in the right angle. So
Get that sperm right to that egg, and you angle yourself just perfect, get the ass up there, legs in the air, and push that shit down there.
Michael, he's got a very histrionic thing going on over here.
Yes, because this is exactly
Very funny.
Just what I'm interested in.
I just got your email, by the way,
Oh,
Michael.
good.
Yeah, just buzzed me.
that was like 25 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, what's up at Fantasy Gift? Mother's Day gift ideas. I would tell everyone, go in. The staff at Fantasy Gift, well, you hear from at least one or two of them every week here on the Great Northern Sexcast. These are very cool people who really, really want to help. So go in and talk about your situation. You couldn't find a better, more helpful staff anywhere. I don't think.
We give them a lot of training. So usually with the information you are getting, it is legit. They're not just giving you a bunch of bullshit. We actually train them twice a year, and we actually have another training seminar coming up where my employees will get knowledge and learn about new toys. So come into our stores and ask them especially after May 22nd, say, so what's coming up? What's new?
Yeah, and honestly, and I do tell them too, if you don't know the answer, I tell them to say, I don't know, and we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine if we've got someone that maybe's only been there a couple of months versus, several years. I'll say, it's okay to say, I don't know, and we'll find out.
As long as that's followed up, let me find out. So I don't know, but don't leave it at that.
Right.
My employees will not leave it as I don't know. They're going to be like, but let me find out. I got 8 other stores.
Super good. And by the way, the people that they would go to ask, in addition to management there at Fantasy Gifts, even if they went to one of the distributors, I mean, these people take this stuff very, very, very seriously.
Very serious. This is our livelihood. This is what pays my mortgage, so I'm going to learn the best about it.
Well, and the companies that produce the items as well. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome. Okay, guys, so tons of stuff in Great Northern Sexcast news. This first one, it sounds cheesy, but it's fascinating. The Love Doll Show. This is happening in Japan, and this is like the 5th year that this place called the Vanilla Gallery has done this. And these things, and these are not, the blow-up variety that we use for bachelor parties. These are in that $10,000 and up. Oh my God, they're almost human looking. But what this isn't just, hey, look at how amazing these sex dolls are. They take these dolls and position them in to mock paintings that are done by a very famous Japanese artist, Ikanaga Yasunari, excuse me. So it's called the Artificial Otome Museum in Japan. Look it up. But look up the Love Doll Show Vanilla Gallery online. You will be. I couldn't believe these things weren't human.
Did they look real?
And the artistic, the poses and the thing. It's like really
this is
cool.
like a yearly show?
Yeah.
Or something like that? So there's a theme each year, and then they take the dolls and...
I don't know if they do the same thing every year or not, but this year it's based on these paintings, and they're sort of in industrial and almost Mad Max meets. Really? It's really cool. You guys,
have to check that out.
It's really cool. I mean, very mechanical, but oh my God. And the dolls, like, you're kidding me, and they're gorgeous.
So they're real enough so I can use them in the carpool lane?
Yes.
So Japan has the sex doll and art show, and the MIA has the art.
Here we go. Just give her a moment. We got to get some air in.
Has the art in bloom, so you can tell the difference between Minnesota and the city in Japan. Sex dolls versus art in bloom. That's where I went because I know that's going on right now. I saw some pictures.
Hey man, who doesn't love tulips? I got to tell you, this is video. I think my arachnophobia is well known here on the show. It is certainly everywhere else that I go. Spiders freak me out. Yeah. I mean, if a spider is, as big as one of my fingernails, it's as big as the table, in my view. I have that whole thing. I'm terrified of the things. But this one, there's the good spider and the bad spider. And we're first going to talk about the good spider. And I could not take my eyes off the video. Could not take my eyes off the video, and spiders freak me out. This is called the Darwin's bark spider. It's Madagascar native, and they do male and female oral sex before they get busy. And there's video of the male spider performing oral sex on the female spider. Now, in other weirdness about this story, you can tell what they're doing. I mean, even if somebody didn't tell you and you saw this, be like, it looks like he's going down on her, and he is. But the female spiders are far bigger. Okay, so they can get right in there. Everything's just all. So here's the thing. They do actually also occasionally get eaten. The females will eat them. These are akin to black widows. So they do have the red markings on their back like the black widows. So these bitches will, they show very little appreciation for the hard work. And if you watch, or the males, if they don't get eaten by the female, another thing that they are likely to do is chew off a portion of their own sexual organs.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So you're gonna go down on this female spider, and then she to respond and give you, she's gonna eat you,
Or you're going to end up chewing off your own dick.
and then
Yeah,
she don't even have a
okay, yeah.
chance to get to you and go down on you, right?
Right. Well, I don't think that these women are
They're
very much
not.
up to no.
No,
Damn.
that my favorite part would have been is that you're in Madagascar, you're a scientist, and you're like, doo. What the hell is our spiders doing? I mean, or do you have them and you're in a lab, and then you've got your college students in there, and they're like, how do we
Professor?
tell the professor?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, see, that's the part that I would see. I get a little piece of information, and my brain just goes woo with
Right.
it. And it's just, yeah.
How do they? I mean, I am perpetually fascinated with how. I mean, and it can be on an array of topics, sexual or financial or anything else, how professors and study groups decide that they're going to attack a particular thing and they get funding for it.
Right.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna start doing that with snails because I have a saltwater tank, and my snails get it on all the time.
Do they really?
They're walking around with each other on top of each other. I'm like, you can tell they're doing it too. And I got some hermit crabs that do the same thing. I'm like,
Horny
one's-
hermit crabs?
Oh, horny hermit crab. One looks like crawling into the other guy's shell, spouse's shell or whatever. But yeah,
Oh my God.
it's crazy. I'm like, are they doing what they're? Looks like they're doing. And they're just like, yeah, they're having it on. I'm like, oh, lucky.
Yeah. Oh, that's my. You go to the zoo and the animals are going at it, and some parents are going, well, they're mating, and then you walk by, and other parents are like, and I'm like. So I make sure that, especially when Francis Rose was younger, that when I did mention something, I said, yes, that's mating. They're having sex. They're going through there. And I would just say it matter-of-factly. But I would say it matter-of-factly enough so that the other kids could hear too.
Well,
You never know what you're going to see at the zoo, so at
Because
least don't lie to them.
But it was not in it was not in a salacious manner. It was this and that. But I'm just like, I'm sorry. I mean, but you just, what do you think you're going to see?
Right.
They're animals.
My mom took my nieces and nephews to, I think it was to the state fair, their petting zoo and everything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, one of the little goats or whatever started getting a little hard on. And my nephew's like, well, what is that? Mom's like, well, that's his chapstick. So the guy standing behind my mom just starts busting out because it's a chapstick. She wasn't going to lie to him. That's what my family calls it when you're starting to get a little witty. Oh, that's her chapstick. I'm like,
God,
I don't know
that's-
why, but it's just hilarious.
We call Fred's the pink pencil.
Pink pencil.
Like, Fred, we need to erase that right now. I mean, you are neutered.
It's just awkward. It's
Nothing's going to be happening here, so let's just put everything away.
you just never know when it's going to happen.
Don't ya? No. So the good spider is the one that goes down on the female spider. The bad spider, this one is also near Australia. Poor construction worker. I hate porta potties. I think porta potties are evil. That's why I don't like outdoor live music. Won't go in there because you always have to drink beer and then you got to pee, and it's just a miserable situation for me. And for this guy too, who was bitten by a poisonous redback spider on the penis.
Oh, who's going to suck that out?
Right?
Right.
They called 911, but he managed to make it to the ER on his own, and he's okay, but somebody else, within the recent months had died. Another young man died from a bite. So this guy got bit on his schwanz, and he survived it. Hallelujah.
I'm just fascinated because pretty much, I mean, most nature wants to kill you, but
Yeah.
there's something about Australian nature
Oh,
that
yeah.
seems extra deadly. I mean, is there anything in Australia that doesn't want to kill you?
So
Or that's not poisonous?
Yeah.
Was this in the porta potty that he got
Yeah.
bitten?
It was on
so
the
he must have
toilet
been
seat.
sitting
Yeah,
down
he
and
sat
having
down,
it dangling.
and it probably came up from underneath. Probably didn't
Oh,
see
yeah.
it because I mean, if you saw that thing, who's going to sit on it? He probably came up and went burnt and got him right on it.
There'll be no more sitting in a porta potty for me.
Oh hell no!
No,
Hell no.
I spent 20 years doing Renaissance festivals, and so I'm just like, oh my god, the porta potties.
They're the worst.
And we have to deal with them at Pride coming up.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. We try. I end up having to bring a bag with our own toilet paper sometimes because usually by the late afternoon they haven't cleaned up. And the thing is, if you stand there and then people think that like you're the person. I mean, I don't mean to be like stingy, but I did not bring toilet paper for
for
100,000
everybody.
people.
Right? There's that.
So I have to make. I have
Staff of toilet paper.
so I have a bag that has toilet paper in it and some seat wipes and everything so that people can clean the toilet before they go in.
yeah, this isn't our first rodeo.
Yeah.
We've been to Pride many times, and we know what to bring every year.
And we've confirmed we're going to have a massive booth. We're going to have vendors. We are so excited.
It is going to be like going to a store.
Mhm.
It's going to be amazing.
Well, this is a good time, guys. I want to talk about Audible for a minute. Our sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
audibletrial.com/social. how many bazillion titles? Over 180,000 titles, Colleen, isn't it?
Yeah, and and the thing is that they're always adding more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. And everybody pretty much on the Fantasy Gifts and the Great Northern Sex Cast team is a fan of this. So we hope that because they support us, you'll support them. Audible books. So it's audibletrial.com/social. You get a free Audible book if you free download if you go ahead and use that promotional code. So please do.
And what's great about Audible is, you're paying that $14.95 or whatever it is a month, but you're also getting a free credit. So I always use my free credits that I keep stockpiling on like a whole series of books. So I'm getting, you get one book per credit, and I use those for anything $15 and up. So I'm making an awesome deal.
Okay, that's really smart.
That is very smart.
And see, just proof that we are customers. So I love that.
Yeah, I know the ins and outs. So
for sure. Okay, this story cracked me up for so many reasons. Okay, Barcelona, which we talked about Spain recently on a podcast being the infidelity capital of the world. But this, there was a couple at a Barcelona subway station filmed apparently having sex while passengers walk right by. Okay, this is kind of amazing. And they, there's some, questions as to whether or not there was actual intercourse / penetration, but still, these people are going to be in a boatload of trouble if they get caught because it's for incivility charges. Civil incivility charges is what they could be. But here's the other thing. The reporting place, it's El Huffington Post. So it's the Spanish version of the Huffington Post. How funny is that?
That's funny.
Yeah. So, and there's a button on the story, and Megan's got the link to this that says, warning, don't click this if you don't want to see subway sex. How many people just,
click.
Yeah.
click.
I'm going to be clicking right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of times I'll flip it through the web and I'll go, okay, you win, internet. Click.
I know. You just can't not do it.
You can't
win. You win today. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So they're going to be in trouble.
They're in trouble. There's a time and a place for everything. And in the subway, I just think I'm more modest.
I just
Really?
think of
Okay, maybe not.
Well, I just remember eons ago, long before everybody had the internet in their hand. We were at a friend's house like the day after, the weekend or so after Grand Old Days, and someone had some pictures, and they were showing the pictures, and they had them in a particular order, and everyone would be flipping through the pictures, and then suddenly there'd be the moment where everyone was like, ah! Because they were walking down the alley somewhere, and there was a woman bent over, leaned against a garage, and this guy's going after her.
Oh my
And
God.
while they're there, the person had the camera, just a regular camera, long before cell phones, snapped a few pictures, and then kept going, and they didn't seem to care, but they had the most fun with that because you couldn't really see.
Just put it in the vacay pics.
So they had it in some pictures because they'd taken some pictures of the day and this and that, and they brought, and it was just, you could tell where they were in the party because everyone would get to because they had them lined up right, and they just hear blah.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's considered the wrong place at the wrong time or the right place at the right time.
They were obviously incredibly intoxicated.
I would say.
I think it may have been a year or two after that they stopped you from wandering up and down Grand Old Days with a beer.
Oh, yeah. That could be a problem, especially those back alleys. Those are shady.
But people just fucking ruin it for
neighborhoods.
everybody.
Yep, I know.
Dang, man.
Can we just sit here and watch?
Right. I know. Well, Florida makes its weekly appearance in the Great Northern
Yay.
Sex Cast, this time to a public pool in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Austin Misiak allegedly having sex with an unnamed woman in the community pool, and he got decked by a 15-year-old who didn't appreciate it.
Wow.
Because he was just being a drunken asshole, and the girlfriend was like, "Hey, quit chasing children, quit da, and what have you." And the guy mouthed off, and he was a big dude too, 6'1", 220 pounds, and a 15-year-old boy said, "Yeah, unacceptable." Boom, cops
Good
came,
for
and he's
him.
in trouble. I thought that was kind of
That
cool.
was cool.
My favorite part about this story is that in the outline here, she just put FL for
I
Florida.
know.
I don't have to. Need I say more?
No,
Something.
that's it. Just somebody was drunk and naked and
Probably
stupid
naked, yep.
in Florida.
Florida. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I never condone violence or anything, but it sounds like this guy deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's still under 18, so good for you.
Well, and you know what I like is this. It was kind of the sense of chivalry here.
Yeah.
He was trying to protect his girlfriend, but it was also, hey, there's little kids here, dude. Come on. And his parents, it sounds like they raised him right,
That's
not
good.
the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, North Korea. Wow. Yeah, Kim Jong-un, kind of a freak. If you do get caught watching porn there in North Korea, you're likely to be treated like a political prisoner, which, as we know from the news, not a good thing, people.
No.
Not good. And he doesn't condone this. And one person escaped from North Korea and talked about, it's a female, and she was talking about just how just draconian the anything, if you get caught doing anything that they deemed inappropriate would be. And she said she went down to South Korea and they're teaching sex ed, how to put on condoms and everything else. And she said the difference between North and South Korea goes far beyond what the rest of the world knows it to be anyway. And she just, from that particular perspective, I thought that was an interesting story. So be careful.
Yeah.
with
I don't
that.
plan on going to North
Yeah,
Korea.
I don't understand why you would want to go there anyway. I mean, I know you can take a tour there,
Yeah.
but I
want
don't
to.
understand the point of it. You can't take. I just someone was sent to jail for taking a poster.
I'd be
You know,
afraid I wouldn't be getting out of North
Yeah,
Korea.
it just,
Yeah.
there are many places in the world I want to travel. That doesn't even
No.
make a list.
That's never been on my bucket list.
No, and I there's other places where Americans are not exactly loved, and there's a lot of danger, and I'm like, I'm just not going there.
No,
okay?
people are fighting to get out of there. Why would I
Yeah,
go in there
no,
voluntarily?
Thank you. That's well put. Oh, okay. This one absolutely cracked me up, and the picture that goes along with this story, the UK Special Forces guys, so that they would be our equivalent of the Navy SEALs. They're in trouble. There's a bunch of them. They've had an outbreak of STDs, and there's a picture with the condoms with the British flag on them. Okay, and it said, "Look, you got to keep it in your pants, or you got to use a raincoat." They've had at least 6 of their elite soldiers return from operations with STDs, and the fighters have been warned that they could be literally kicked out of the regiment if they don't use condoms. And then they basically said, this is a vital piece of your personal medical equipment. And they said, these are self-inflicted injuries and it will get you booted from the elite forces if you do not. We're now warning you. So now if you catch one, it's on you.
Oh, wonderful.
Is that like...
So
hilarious?
part of the uniform is condoms.
Yeah. And they're like government, like, it's hysterical.
This is a grown. These are grown ass men. I don't understand. I suppose it's just the sense of invincibility,
Invincibility,
that you
yeah.
would have when you're at that sort of elite training, but and probably the ego too.
Well, they have the highest divorce rates and infidelity rates in the Army, in the British Army, and they're saying though that the antibiotics used can lower their performance and inability to do. I mean, because they put their own lives and their other lives depend on them when they go in to do these ops. So they're like, yeah, sorry, either use condoms and but if you get an STD, you're out. So I thought that was kind of fascinating.
That is
really
fascinating.
It's like I can't find a way to disagree with the government
they've
on
been
this.
warned,
No,
that's it. Yeah,
I agree. And they are grown-ass men. They should be keeping it covered. They'd be taken care of. Especially if you're married. You should protect your spouse and your kids and everything.
Well,
Don't bring that
hello.
shit home.
Hello.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll state for the record that this woman is believed to be mentally ill, but the story nonetheless is funny. This is not the little old lady from Pasadena. This is the naked psycho running through Pasadena after Simone Gonzalez, 32 years old, tried to run over her parents, caused a bunch of property damage, and then led a chase for police. And there's actually a video of this, but when she gets captured, she starts with this very strange back and forth argument about she's the cop and blah, blah, blah. They take her into custody. She strips naked and they're like, really? They got her. But I mean, the video of this is just insane. I mean, it's totally and completely crazy.
I've noticed that a lot of people that when they're evading the police attempt to get naked.
They do. They
'Cause
take their clothes off.
I think they think police won't want to grab them.
Yeah, I mean,
They just have more to grab.
In an invasive
Or it's shit that
yeah.
means more because if you get a hold of somebody by one of those, it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm stopping.
Invasive technique, or if you're going through there, it just the fact that you're not you've already just sort of done everything else that's not particularly acceptable in public. You might as well just it's like the checklist of getting arrested. At
Yeah,
one
so
point,
evading police.
Yeah, is get naked.
Get
I mean,
naked.
yeah.
Just makes it easier down at the booking station.
Yeah.
Just makes it quicker for cavity search and all that. What are you on?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Colleen,
They're just it doesn't. I
Maybe
mean,
it's easier
not
for them to
It
hide.
doesn't seem to be an isolated incident.
It is
just a lot-
not.
yeah.
It's not like they're going to stick out or anything. It's like, oh, where do we find this person in a massive crowd? Oh, that naked one.
ooh, could that be the perp? The pink perp? The pink one. Oh, God. Okay, so speaking in other nudity, I have the story titled in our outline, Get Your Grammar On. This is funny. You guys have heard of the Naked News Channel. I mean, that's been around for
Yes.
years. It's out of Venezuela. And they
Yes.
literally do serious newscasts with these women who strip while they're doing it. And they're hot. And they're like... And they do all different body types too. These crazy voluptuous women, and some of them do the naughty librarian thing. But I mean, they're actually doing the news. And I mean, at first I found it very funny, and now I'm like used to it, and it still's funny, but whatever. Well, they've got they've got an English language learning channel that where the teachers are nude.
Oh, so you said
Teaching English.
You said this is Venezuela?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just down to 2 days a week now, because the government there now has all the government employees only working 2 days a week to save energy and money and all that sort of stuff. So
I can see the weather and stuff because I'm not really paying attention. But if I'm trying to learn grammar and stuff, I don't need nothing to block my view on learning in that. I think that would be a little too disruptive for me to learn.
I'm guessing they probably didn't cut the funding for the naked.
No.
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 I thought there might be some Googling later.
There might be some
There
Googling.
might be some Googling, I mean, because I'm just curious. Like, yeah.
So their uniform does not include clothes, where the British includes condoms. So
Right.
can we up our budget, please?
I love the quote on the website. Our main aim is to entertain, educate, and inform our audience using a format developed for the web. And we want to struggle for women's liberation, breaking the taboo that surrounds nudity. Do we think this achieved that, people?
Well, really, we were actually, honestly, we were talking about nudity on the drive over. I am fond of the nudity, but I'm just not sure that sometimes it's appropriate. Like nude gardening day is coming up. I'm
Saturday.
like, no, one should not garden in the nude.
I don't want anything getting anywhere where it's not supposed to be.
One should not.
I don't like bugs.
I mean, I'm fine for body acceptance. I'm fine for a person being out, doing what they need to do. But I'm not sure that there's that, and I'm even fine if someone if someone wanted to like nude sunbathe somewhere. But I just don't know if doing the news nude is
liberating.
Is liberating. I think
it's liberating your breath.
I think what would be liberating is to be able to be at the beach on a hot day and be able to take off your shirt like a guy.
Yeah, don't want no tan
Or
lines.
I think what would be liberating would be able to wear a sundress and not get catcalled. I think
Yeah, I can imagine the cat calls you get if you're naked. Then you're just calling for the attention.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's where I think would be I don't. Yeah, it's always. Yeah.
And I don't want nothing biting my wiener. If I'm nude gardening or anything, I'm keeping that stuff covered because there's a lot of critters that I don't even see, even with 2 eyes now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm so with you. You're a gamer, Michael.
I am a gamer.
And this story, and I watched the video, and I'm really on the fence about this. Do you know of a site called Twitch?
No.
Okay. It's a video sharing gaming site. And I watched the video, and there's a girl. Her name is Leah May, and she goes by Legendary Leah online. She's been banned because there was a bunch of complaints about her. She had an accidental alleged vag flash when she was streaming footage of herself playing the video game called Dark Souls, and she went to grab something off screen. She says on the video, "Hey, I have boy shorts on," and it's really hard to tell. I mean, I didn't see anything that screamed like whatever, but I mean, it was like a dress or whatever she had on. You could see something that wasn't quite out of the ordinary, or that was out of the ordinary. She lifted her leg, and she said, "Hey, I've had I'm awkward because I sprained my ankle," and that's why she was kind of anyway.
Right.
I don't know. So she's banned for 30 days, terms of service violation, and we've got all these people. You've got people saying it was disgusting, then you've got people saying that this was outrageous. But it's like, really?
But you can't really see in the
I
picture.
couldn't really tell. I mean,
we have people zooming in probably at max zoom too, probably checking out and see if they see her coochie.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can't imagine. It's a body part splash. I mean, she wasn't masturbating on the site. It was going through there. She wasn't going through there. It wasn't intentional.
She wasn't in a
obviously
library.
like that. It isn't a multiple. I mean, I would assume if somehow this was the 4th time that somehow your labia made an appearance, it could be an issue. But it's very, people just seem to freak out about nudity at the wrong times. It's going through there, which makes it just more difficult. When sometimes body parts pop out.
They do.
It's not and
Janet Jackson did it on purpose.
Yeah,
Wardrobe
and
malfunction.
and bodies aren't.
And she paid the fine for that too, and so did most of everybody that did radio as well.
Oh my
New
God.
laws, new rules now.
Oh, it hit radio harder than it did TV, you
Yeah.
guys. It was hell. It was pure and adulterated hell for us.
Yeah, it's just
I hate
Takes
her.
one to screw it up for everybody else, but it happens. Mistakes happen. Banning it might have been too rash. I would say if it's an ongoing thing, but they should really investigate it before banning her and make sure it was actually her vagina that was being shown.
Well, here's one that is hilarious, and this is a funny video. Michael, you'll love this. There's an actor named John Barrowman, and he's the star of Torchwood.
I love him.
Okay,
No,
he's pretty funny.
he is great.
Okay, so he's doing like a live video stream from Palm Springs, and his husband is in the background, and he's doing his like live video stream, and his husband just gets naked, and oh my, congratulations, John, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is like, woo! And all of a sudden he turns around, he's like, I'm on live stream. And the husband just comes and he's like, hey.
Oh.
I mean, he does not give a crap that he just get, but it's like a really funny video. I mean, so it was
That's kind of like the Tori Spelling one where she's back in her husband, McDermott, is videotaping their kid and everything. She's behind him breastfeeding with both boobs are hanging out. She's breastfeeding kids and everything. And it's like, hey, behind your kid that you're focused on is your naked wife.
yeah, just saying.
Just saying.
Oh, but this
Well,
one's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, but he was like, whatever. I mean,
That's
kind of-
awesome. That's awesome. I'll
It's a
check
cute
that
video.
out.
We'll put it up. I sent the link to Meg.
Yeah, John Barrowman. He's in Arrow. I watch that constantly. So
Okay.
yeah, he's a villain now in Arrow, and he's awesome. I
Well-
love Torchwood though.
Yeah, and this video, he's just got you can tell he's just got a funny personality, and his husband has a
does.
huge cock. Okay, so that leads into too social of media. Boy, you guys, I don't know. Colleen, you have a school age kid, albeit older than the age of the children that this teacher who got in trouble teaches. She's like an elementary school teacher, 24 years old. And here's the thing. I don't know where she's from. I surmise she's from Britain, but I couldn't make it out from the story. This happened, though, in Mexico, in Sonora. She was at a resort, and they had like a dance/twerking contest. And this was cell phone videoed. And, I got to tell you, I mean, I wish I could move like that. I mean, and she's like, boom, boom, boom. And she was, kind of, dancing to the crowd. It was provocative, but she was clothed and whatever. And she was forced to resign because this made it into, it made its way to the headmasters. She won a prize, the equivalent of $260 American for winning the contest. But now she's, I don't think it'll go far without a job.
No, the thing is, she's on vacation. She's dancing. She's not doing anything that she probably wouldn't do at a bar. And I mean, okay, if there was a video of her shooting heroin up her arms, yeah, maybe. But once again, the folks are just a little too they've gone insane.
I'm a very provocative dancer.
She's not. I mean, this is why I always joke about. Teach my kid, you take a picture, you never have a red Solo cup in your hand, or anything.
Right.
You do certain things, that the internet is forever. But she's not in town. I'm not even sure that this is an issue. Even if you were a stripper in your own town as a spare job, it depends on, I guess, what the contract. I mean, maybe there's a clause in the contract that says that you're supposed to avoid social media. Who knows? But, going on vacation and dancing, and shaking your ass.
Yeah, I know
No.
she's shaking it too.
Yeah.
But I have to.
Now she's definitely, if she's that good, then she definitely has some other job opportunities available.
No,
I just thought it was too bad.
No, I mean, and it's gonna. Personally, I think she'll get hired again. Is going through there, probably for it's going through there, and it's just, but it. Yeah, I
It's a
feel
bummer.
bad for her.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
I do
that
too.
she definitely was not appropriate. I don't know what the laws are there, but I bet you anything she could probably, if it was in the U.S., she could probably sue depending on what her contract said.
Yeah, but we've had some things though. I mean, remember when the teacher in I think it was West Virginia whose phone was literally taken by a student?
Yeah, and
And,
I
yeah.
bet she should sue too.
I
because
think she
bet
should
Did
Yeah.
anything change on that? Did that boy get in trouble?
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
I should look and see if there's any updates. I think that kid they ought to hang him high.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
little
that's
shit.
definitely a suspension or something. But getting off scot-free for doing that and invading somebody's privacy.
That's truly horrible. And if I were his parents, I'd be shaming the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Because he did steal something. Okay, finally, we'll wrap up today. I love this. Bedtime rituals that don't lead to sex, but couples should do, and why I liked these. I thought these were pretty cool and appropriate for kind of our theme here. They talk about, one of the ways to avoid having, trouble with your sex life is to take the pressure off of it. So that's kind of where they were going with this. So the first one was always end your day with gratitude. And they're talking about things like thanks for putting gas in my car. Just think of something that they did that they didn't have to do, or not something that you nagged them to do, but
Right.
something, whatever, and just get into that particular frame of mind. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the positive reinforcement, because if you spend an enormous amount of time saying, "Oh, God damn it, you left the coffee cup out there again,"
Yeah.
it's awfully handy if, by any chance, that something did get grabbed. It's like, "Oh God, I forgot that. Thanks for grabbing it."
Yeah.
Even though, just trying to find something that was pleasant about the day. In general, and I don't care whether it's your spouse or your kid or your coworker or what's going on, instead of just dumping on everyone all damn day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she says, this is a clinical psychiatrist here. She says, try to find up to 3 things that you're grateful for to communicate before you go to bed, which I thought was pretty
Thanks for
cool.
putting the toilet seat down, honey.
I
didn't fall in today.
That would be whatever,
Right.
Turn off technology, duh, and, put it away and give your partner, rather than a glowing small screen, some attention. And it doesn't even have to be sexual thoughts.
Yeah, I
like
mean, that's
that.
no different than before turn off the TV or something like that. But when you think about the amount of kids that were probably conceived to Johnny Carson, I'm not, I don't think folks have much luck turning off their phones as much as they have, as they did turning off their TV.
But that's why we have 2
20
hands, Caress them and check Facebook.
Oh, Michael.
What?
Oh.
Pardon me.
The final one is cuddle without letting it lead to sex. Non-sexual touch, important way to express love and affection. I like this. I thought this was pretty interesting. Research shows it takes 5 to 10 seconds of a hug or loving embrace to release the bonding chemical oxytocin.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, if you're just sitting there, I mean, just holding hands or leaning into each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Or really, if you're going to be on the phone, you might as well be in each other. Someone's in the crook of somebody else's arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First laying at home, I'll lay in his lap, I'll put my head in his lap and watch TV. It's just, it's contact where, it's nothing that's going to lead to sex or anything. It could if I'm lucky, but we're just relaxing and just, spending a Sunday at home together.
No, I love it. Yeah, if you go for a walk and you hold hands, it's really fun because when you do, my guy and I, we're big hand. If we go for a walk, we usually hold hands or this. If it's really sweaty, it might just be, pinkies.
Finger, yeah, that's romantic.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That just keeps the love building. Keeps the love alive. I think just showing little things that how much you love them, like putting the toilet seat down.
Keep
Actually, I
the
think-
love alive.
Yeah.
Keep the love alive.
Yeah, I think touch is probably the most important.
It
thing.
is.
You can't really, if you don't want to touch someone, why do you even want to talk to them?
Yeah.
Well,
Let alone be with them.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we should end on that fuzzy.
I like
What do
that.
you guys think?
Warm, fuzzy touching. Yeah.
Hey,
Have a
I
good
love
week.
hugs.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.